Savior of the nations, come. Virgin Son, here make thy home. Marvel now, O heaven and earth, that the Lord chose such a birth. Good morning. This is the first of our Advent devotions for 2022. Now, my Advent devotions tend to be based on Christmas carols, especially the songs we don't normally sing. This week, our carol is Savior of the Nations, Come. This is a carol whose words are written by St. Ambrose, who then had his words translated by Martin Luther, and then Martin Luther's translation was translated by Marinel Seltz. The tune itself is an old German hymn with harmony by Bach. Now, given that Martin Luther was involved, this is a Lutheran carol. And Lutheran hymns and carols tend to be full of theology and doctrine, where everything has a meaning. Now, Luther was using the words of St. Ambrose, who lived from 340 to 397 AD. Ambrose is one of the great church fathers of his time. He preached against the Arian heresy, but also introduced metrical and antiphonal singing into the Western Church. As with many of the clerics of his time, he was not just a man of the cloth, but was also trained in legal studies and was a civilian official. It was only when the Bishop of Milan died that Ambrose, who was not only not an ordained priest, but had yet to even be baptized, was made bishop by popular demand and was baptized, ordained, and consecrated as a bishop and remained so until his death. Not only did he fight against the Arian heresy, but also he fought against the influence of the Roman emperor in church affairs. And he did have one of the great influences on the church as we know it. Now, his words were translated by Martin Luther, who himself is one of the great doctors of the Reformed branch of Christianity. And ultimately, it was translated into English later, first by William Reynolds, who was a native of Fayette County, Pennsylvania, and who was an Episcopal priest and an academic, but also by others. The tune really comes from the Lutheran repertoire of German hymns. And the tune that's often used for this carol was written by Martin Luther himself. And it's fitting because he had a great influence on not just the Western Church, but the hymns we sing. So that's our introduction to this carol.